we at 60K. That's crazy.
On what?
YouTube.
Oh yeah. Post on what?
YouTube.
Oh yeah. Shirt. Um, other things.
How you spell Juneteenth?
Junetee.
Oh, it's E-T? That's super weird.
Junet, and then two E's.
Okay, let me see if my share screen works. Hey, can you turn share screening on?
Yeah. There we go. Okay. All right, hold on, I'm running it.
What the hell we gonna do now?
Damn, he must have been in the riots looting. Grab them shoes. He was the last one to get some though.
Okay, cool.
All right. You ready, Pat?
Yes, hang on, let me go into the chat. Hey. What up? All right, cool. All right, I'm ready.
Yo, what up? I'm to hear more.
And I'm Patrick Cloud.
And this is another episode of Damn Internet, you scary.
Woo! I have a shave. I have no more beard.
Oh,
I
shit.
I cut it off today. I don't look like I'm fucking homeless or fighting the Armageddon. I don't look like a zombie survivor no more. It was bad.
I
It
didn't
was
even notice
bad.
it when we just got through Zooming a minute ago. I didn't even notice that you had shaved. Did you shave
It
afterward?
was bad. Immediately after, I was like, I'm not. But no. Right before, I was like, I'm not pulling up to Juneteenth. Talk about Juneteenth looking like an escaped slave. For sure not. Trying to
Damn, you cut it,
had
cut.
to had to cut it.
Okay.
Um, but today's episode
Mm-hmm.
is actually very informative
Hey, let go.
because we had a conversation about Juneteenth,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that would be the perfect way to start the podcast off.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I know that a lot of people do know about it, but I also know that a lot of people don't know about it, and if so many people knew about it, I never really see it being pushed like that on social
Yeah.
media. I don't see people like celebrating. It's almost just people like know about it, but not really like they're not really like I feel like a lot of people don't have context, and what we talked about in the other show. I feel like we need to push that as much as possible.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
so really quickly, to all of my to everybody in the Scary Squad, Juneteenth is pretty much the version of July 4th for slaves. I know that for me personally, growing up, I did not hear about this a lot. Historically, it was celebrated, but it was kind of drowned out by the civil rights movement. But it has been kind of like popping back up, and this, with everything going on this year, it is literally the perfect time to make this a thing because it's not recognized as a national holiday, but I feel like we don't even need that recognition. I feel like we lead the culture anyways, so I think that we need to do our part to make sure that this becomes a thing. Now, if you don't know what Juneteenth is, it's also known as Freedom Day, and it's an American holiday that commemorates June 19th, 1865, when I think it was the Union General. I'm just gonna read this. The Union General read federal orders in Galveston, Texas, that all previously enslaved people in Texas were free. So why that's important is that, like, obviously at the end of the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation legally said slaves were done, but Union soldiers were not patrolling it like that. Like we were talking about, they just sent one messenger to tell everybody in the South, like, by the way, you got to let all your slaves go. He was probably killed. So in all those areas that weren't policed like that, there were still slaves just hearing about freedom. So I personally, every time a black person in America celebrates July 4th, I feel like we always hear at least once that day that, like, well, slaves weren't free. Slaves weren't free. I always knew that, but I never knew that there was another day to celebrate that. And it's this Friday. It's June 19th. And we are basically pushing that it needs to come with all the extras. We can't be throwing just like the articles and the facts at people. It's not going to catch on. People will not read articles unless they're genuinely interested. But y'all, we got to turn up barbecues, fireworks, whatever we got to do, hashtags. But we're trying to make June 19th a actual celebration as opposed to just, what woke people be tapping you on the shoulder and telling you about on July 4th. So what we got to do that, Tahir? What's the suggestions on the table?
I'm thinking that, we well, listen, first off, I feel like we should celebrate Juneteenth and we should celebrate July 4th as like Juneteenth part 2. You know what I mean? Like let's just keep it going because the fact of the matter is that Juneteenth is still not recognized as a national holiday. 47 states observe it, but they don't observe it as a paid national holiday. So like people aren't off of work. Normally, if there wasn't like the COVID quarantine still going on and things of that nature. So I'm like, I'm with the shit. So like, let's celebrate every holiday and call it Juneteenth celebration until they recognize Juneteenth as a national holiday. But I think that the main thing we have to do is just spread the awareness of it. And why I said make July 4th part 2 of it is because July 4th was never really intended for us anyway. If slaves were still enslaved on July 4th in 1776, then obviously that wasn't a holiday for us to celebrate. So until they recognize Juneteenth as a holiday for people of color to celebrate, specifically Black, then we only recognizing that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of these holidays that are highlighted for the wrong reasons. Right. Even with like Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? Like, why are we still celebrating Thanksgiving? Like
Columbus Day.
So, I'm all about like, let's do that.
Okay. So I think what we should do is we got to build a hashtag to push, and then we gotta talk about what we doing on June 19th. Like, what's the Moore household? Like, well, you always celebrate. This ain't even your first, right?
Yeah. I've been celebrating for a couple of years.
All right, so let everybody know what's the game plan usually. Is it just like July 4th?
No, I mean, yeah, but it was just with my tribe. Like, I stopped having people over and kind of just like try to integrate it in my family. Like, this is what we doing. We ain't doing the 4th no more. We celebrating this, and I just kind of made it like my tribe thing. Before I had a couple people over a couple years prior, but this year I might get up early. I had to get rid of actually the management company made me get rid of my barbecue pit. So like I had a big pit on my patio, and it was like, the coating doesn't go with that, so I had to get rid of it like a couple weeks ago. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
bummed about that. But I might just get up and cook something. But I'm also going to protest on Juneteenth at the Laugh Factory
Oh, nice.
at 8 p.m. So I'm gonna go over there, do that. Might do a show, and then yeah, just gonna be kicked back with the family. I mean, it's still, it's still the quarantine, so we're not really hanging out with a whole lot of people right now. But we do have a
Right.
small group of friends that we hang out with each other. Nobody's really with exterior groups, so we kind of feel safe with each other. So we might go over their place, and they might come over here, play some, music that gets us feeling good about our ancestors, feeling good about ourselves, and loving being black, just to, get re-energized and things like that. And yeah, we're just spreading it. I might zoom some a little bit, let people see what's going on, just to like I say, help spread the awareness of it.
Okay. I feel like soul food would be a good, like either barbecue or soul food, just because
Yeah. You know what? You're right though. We don't have the barbecue. We could definitely do the soul food. And seeing that my pit is gone, what I'm saying? Soul food might be the way. Might do some greens. I'll probably do some catfish, some mac and cheese.
There you
Might
go.
get up early and do it, just have that shit done. Then we come back from the goddamn me protest. We just be ready for it. Feel me?
Okay. All right. So then we celebrating Juneteenth this year.
Yeah.
We got to build a hashtag to make sure that everybody celebrates also. So I think that it's got to be something that's lit. Because I feel like after this episode, we and the Scary Squad kind of have to push this. I'm probably gonna make a video after this just to kind of like maybe get ahead of it.
Yeah.
But it would be super dope if there was just like a Juneteenth, make Juneteenth lit, or like make Juneteenth a holiday, just like something that we can put.
Juneteenth every year. Juneteenth.
Juneteenth every year is good.
Yeah.
You guys
Juneteenth.
can, quick shout out to the Scary Squad. Everybody in our Patreon is watching right now.
Yeah.
A couple days early, you could throw some hashtags in there as well.
Yeah. What else we got?
Make Juneteenth official.
That's not a
In
bad one.
Fine is one of them.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. Juneteenth. Recognize Juneteenth is good. Some Alexi
That's
just
great.
Yeah, I like recognize Juneteenth. That's good.
I like how it looks too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lexi and Mises who kind of dropped it at the same time.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I like that. I
Recognize.
like recognize Juneteenth.
So that's that's what we're doing this year and every year, because I love the fact of calling July 4th Juneteenth also. Because that was the first step of freedom, I guess, was July 4th. So
Yeah.
there you go. There's the hashtag recognize Juneteenth. While we're talking about kind of cold shit in history, I read something that was pretty crazy today, and I was on Facebook, which I'm never really on that side of the
Yeah, me neither.
internet. Yeah, for real. So I think I was posting a video, and I saw somebody post this, and the headline was like, "Is this fake?" But it came from bbcnews.com.
Mhm.
So I'm actually here. Let me just share this, because it's a lot to, it's basically a lot to digest. All right. So, racist Gandhi statue. Please ignore the amount of tabs. I know that I always get shit for that. Racist Gandhi statue removed from the University of Ghana. Apparently a lot of people do know about this, but I did not. So I was like, racist Gandhi. It says a statue of Mahatma Gandhi, of the famed Indian independence leader, has been removed from a university campus in Ghana's capital, Accra. Obviously, Mahatma Gandhi, he did the whole nonviolent protest. I think it goes into
Your eye makes the whole world blind.
hang on, I gotta force quit this. All right. So yeah, it was he was a celebrated leader. It says he's best known for leading the nonviolent resistance to British colonial rule in India. So you know, how I was taught about this in school was damn near like Christopher Columbus. It was just like, you know, this guy was awesome. He was a saint. He did XYZ. And I'm not saying he wasn't, because I know that he did a lot of stuff for India, and you know, obviously we're not coming for Indian culture at all. But it's just a very interesting underlayer that a lot of people in Africa don't like him, because he was apparently very, very racist to South Africans. And this university ended up taking the statue down, because, you know, a lot of statues are coming down
Yeah.
recently. This was a couple years ago, but statues are very, very symbolic for everything that that person stood for. So they had a petition that Gandhi was racist and African heroes should be put first. Um, but it's pretty wild. The more that you go into it, it says that Gandhi lived and worked in South Africa as a young man, and he didn't like him. He said he referred a lot of his writings referred to black South Africans as Kafirs, which is very old and outdated racist slur. It's like the N word. And he also states that Indians were infinitely superior to black people. And I was reading all this other stuff that kind of has some wild stuff. Like he was like, I'm not trying to drink no Kafir beer, and like talking about like how Africans are savages and stuff. So I was just like, Mahatma.
Right. I never knew that. I never knew
Mahatma.
that.
As well. Oh Jesus! I mean, I didn't read too far. I mean, it says he's a fascist, a racist, a sexual predator. There's a lot of stuff behind this iconic hero. It says well documented anti-black racism. Um, it's really a lot to a lot to digest, because he was a peaceful protester. And you know, I think I watched a movie or documentary about him, and he did the thing where he was like, you know, he kind of starved himself, or he
Yeah.
really starved
The
himself
Hunger Strike.
until, yeah. So he was really about his people. He just was not about all the people, apparently. It's
Wow.
it's the professor of Indian history at Oxford University. So I guess, you know, Indians aren't necessarily rocking with a lot of stuff he said. Um, but it says it seems almost surreal to have to list the many things Gandhi did. He's such a fallible man, or fallible man, as all men are, but to lump him in with slave owners, that's a bit much. So apparently there's a sort of like you know, kind of split down the middle in terms of how he's viewed, but there's a lot of people who ain't rocking with Gandhi. One of the law students went on, told BBC that you know, statues basically represent that person and everything they stood for. So and he said that's just not the case with Gandhi, so he wanted him replaced. So yeah, it's pretty wild stone to uncover.
Yeah. I had no idea.
It's a wild mind blow, but
That's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I remember learning about Gandhi, and he's kind of like, it's almost like finding out Mother Teresa hated Mexicans. Like it's just like he's
like,
kind of like one of those. He's kind of high up on the whole sort of like saint, and
Yeah. You would
people
not, I would not have expected that. That one threw me for a loop. I must admit. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
we out here turning over rocks in history.
No stone left unturned. We out here exposing them.
Bro, someone said cancel Gandhi. I never thought I would hear that. Someone really said cancel Gandhi. Damn.
Wow. It's
Uh,
real out here, man.
Yeah, it's very much.
Technology though, man. Like that's the one turning point that we have that our ancestors didn't. Like the ability to share information that has been hidden and wasn't readily available to the open masses. The fact that we can Google stuff and find out, you know, from multiple sources to confirm the allegations is something that wasn't readily available in the past. So now a lot of stuff is coming to the light, and this is one of those things. It's like, wow,
Yeah,
did not know that.
it definitely plays a
It
big
just
part.
circles back to like Juneteenth, man. Like so many people did not know it, weren't aware of it, wasn't taught it in high school, middle school. It was swept under the rug because like I say, slavery is one of America's biggest blemishes, and
Yeah.
like they only want to highlight the positive of it. Like Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, which really wasn't him just doing the right thing. If he gave the South an ultimatum and they was like, fuck you, he was like, all right, well, fuck you. How about this? Slaves are free. And they was like, oh, damn. Should have just came back home. So it wasn't like he was just like a great guy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, let's not upsell it. Let's keep it all the way funky what it is. You know what I'm saying? He did it as like, a way to get back at the South. So
Right.
I like that it's being exposed, bro. I like that it's being exposed.
Yeah, it's good. You make a good point that it's just easier to share information, but then it's like another part of me is just like, what chapter would that have been in? Like if you were writing, I get that like Christopher Columbus, that was a lot to leave out. That sure should have been the main thing that was talked about. But when you're talking about the revolution that Gandhi was leading, like what chapter were they supposed to just slide in? Like he was
Personal
also
life.
very, very racist.
Personal life.
Hate
Like Gandhi was raised here, he was great guys and stuff. By the way,
super racist.
small caveat, really hated black people. I mean,
Super
it's the worst in his eyes. Like that, it should have been in there though. Like, and I get it. Like, he did so much for Indian people, but it's like, yo, let's not overlook certain things. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Right.
like they're quick to try to throw Martin Luther King under the bus, and we all know the impact that he had on the civil rights movement. But all of a sudden, CIA and other sources are coming out with how he was an adulterer, and he wasn't the man that history paints him to be. America is not the country that history paints it to be. So
Yeah.
y'all want to put it all out there, put it all out there. Expose the book of secrets that I know the president has access to. Let us know about the aliens. Be real about slavery. Like, tell it all, motherfucker.
Mhm. This whole time I thought school was just us learning stuff, but as you grow up you really see the business element of school, and it's like we were really all being taught the same stuff. If you had control over the textbook companies, you had all this control. I just saw a comment that said by official definition, I don't know, definition, I think that's it. My teacher in 5th grade, she was a white lady. She taught us about him. She said, before you compare him to MLK, no, he was racist.
Wow.
So that shows how important the teacher is. Teachers are so important because they're passing that information on. So they're grown teaching us. So it's like, it's so good.
I want to say this before we get in the first half, because I know it's going to be about that time.
Mm-hmm.
That the biggest things we need to focus on in this country is police reform / justice reform and education reform. I will continue to yell this from the mountaintops. There's so much stuff that we need to know. African American studies needs to be a part of the curriculum. Okay, it just does. Finance needs to be a part of the curriculum. It needs to be a part of high school curriculum ASAP. Also, they need to reformat how they issue funds, because a lot of times the funds are issued to different schools in different areas, and they base the amount of funds that they give the school based on the area that it's in. So basically,
Oh, that's right.
they judge off the property value of the area, and that's how much they determine how much money the school is going to get. And that's fucked up, because
Yeah.
those
If you're in a poor
kids,
neighborhood,
they're elementary students. They have no control over that. So you're punishing them by default, something that is completely out of their hands. And because of that, they're issued older textbooks. They're not giving them the same lunches. They don't get the same transportation options and programs. They don't get after school programs.
Sad.
If they do have one, the after school programs and the music programs and the arts programs are the first to get cut. And I'm going to tell you why. They don't want you thinking for yourself. They don't want you to be an individual. They don't want to create entrepreneurs. They want to create sheep. They want to get you normalized with moving on a schedule, because school prepares you for college. College prepares you for going into the real world, where you set your life around a schedule. You have to be at work at this time. You have the meeting at this time. They don't want you thinking for yourself. They want you to fall in line. So that's why they cut out the things that encourage individual and independent thinking, like music, like arts. Arts and music are subjective. what one person thinks is talented, another person may love, another person may hate, but just
Right.
think for yourself, and they don't want you to do that,
They
man.
cut those first.
Yes, those are always the arts and the music programs are always the first to go because they don't feel it's essential. But I beg to differ. The way a kid thinks, like the way that they have no fear, where they'll jump off the monkey bars on the top level, or they'll hit a flip off a swing. And now me at 36, I wouldn't like I know how to hit a backflip off a swing, but I wouldn't do it now because I take into consideration all the things that can go wrong. But kids are fearless. So imagine
You
if
know how to do a backflip off of a swing?
yeah, I've been doing that since I was like 6, bro. Like that was the thing to do. You get high enough, and you on the outswing, you just flip backwards. But the point I'm trying to make is that if there was a bridge program that like had scientists really just sit and talk to kids on how to could solve diseases or how to solve problems, I think that they would benefit from it because kids will think completely outside of the box, whereas
Right.
a scientist is confined by laws of physics and gravity and all. So they're like computing things and they're not thinking about the possibilities that could be literally on the right side of the box.
Mhm.
But a kid will think like that because they don't have those same barriers and limitations on
Right.
their imagination. At that
Right.
point, there is still boundless imagination and boundless opportunities and possibilities for them. But school really caps that off, man. I really feel like they destroy imagination, individuality, and just the possibilities of what could be. And that's why I feel like education reform is hella important, man. I'm hella passionate about that because I feel like, man, these kids aren't getting the same opportunities afforded by some of their counterparts because of where they're raised.
No, for real. That's hella true. Like the fact that they had the nerve to teach me about what a hunter gatherer is, but they didn't teach us about nothing like how they really taught us how cavemen. No, I don't think that's cavemen. They taught us how indigenous people provided for their family, but they didn't teach us about money. Like it's so random. Like why didn't we not get like a mandatory tax course?
Bro,
That
that's what
is
I'm
the
saying.
most
Like, why
ridiculous
teach
thing
us?
ever.
Teaching us about geometry is cool, you know what I'm saying? Because if you go into anything with like architecture or interior design, and there are other fields that use it, but that's not a math. Basic math is more essential, and finance is definitely essential and crucial to your life. You don't learn anything about finance, about APR, interest rates, any of that, and then in none of your high school courses. But the first thing you are introduced to when you go to college is loans and credit cards. They
That's
are
wild.
setting these kids up for
That's
failure,
wild.
bro.
They don't want you to be smart with money.
They don't.
They don't want you to be smart with money, for
It's
sure.
so crazy to me. It's like, yo, if you don't have a family that prepares you for, or you're not in honors classes, even in honors classes, they don't really teach you about, like, they teach you maybe finite math, right? And, interest rate over years, specifically to businesses and loans like that. But like personal finance, like how to get, like, I remember I signed up for a Banana Republic card. And I think the interest rate with that was high, was like 7.8%. But if you miss one payment, it went up to like 18.9%. And it's like, as somebody that's not thinking like that, like you're like, oh, okay, I just want to miss a payment. But we all have those months where we're slow or we are low on funds and stuff like that. And
Right.
you don't think about how much of that, like if you got a $500 balance and now your interest rate goes to 18.9, it's like, bro, are you serious? You
Yeah.
literally just bought basically 6 outfits, goddamn me, just on interest.
Right.
It was like, bro, like they not teaching these kids these life skills, the real life skills that they need. I remember in class, I don't know if it was high school or middle school, but we spent literally like almost half a period on a signature. Nigga, I don't need to learn that right now. I can learn a signature at any goddamn time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, what, like when they were learning cursive or what?
Yeah.
Cursive was a waste of a semester.
Oh my God.
That was a waste of, like, I just want all parents to know that you wasted money on having your teacher sit there and learn how to make swirly words with your kids. That is so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, they don't even teach it now. It's outdated. But so much of the curriculum is outdated and they have not updated, and that's what upsets me.
They should stop math after like division, and then everything else should be a choice. Like, why did I learn calculus? That makes no damn sense. Yeah, they for sure don't want you to be good with money, because if you were good with money, then you would probably try Mint Mobile. All right.
Talk about it, Pat.
Mint Mobile's new approach to wireless is the future. We are in the future, guys. If you're still using one of those big wireless providers this year, have you asked yourself what you're paying for? There's expensive retail stores, inflated prices, hidden fees, all that. Every time I look at the bill, look, I kid you not, last time I looked at my bill, I thought that I was paying for more than one line. This is not a joke. I thought that it was so expensive and there were so many hidden fees. I called them up and I was like, did somebody fraudulently add to my plan? And they're like, no, this is just one phone. So that's what these big wireless companies are doing. So enter Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile provides the same premium network coverage that you're used to, but it's at a fraction of the cost because everything is online. So Mint Mobile saves on retail locations and overhead. Then they pass those savings directly to you.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we're talking about. I think last time on this episode, I had to cut it out because I actually showed some of my like personal information, but I showed Pat my phone bill and it was like $346. That's for 3 lines,
Whew.
3 phones, $346, bro. That's a car note. That is a car note, and I just was like, yo, I got to switch over. So I've been working with Mint Mobile, man, and I gotta be honest with you. I'm excited. I like what's going on. The coverage is there. The data is there. The perks that you get for signing up, I'm a fan of. You know, I'm a fan of the perks. I told y'all last time the T-shirts, the koozies. Mm-hmm. What I didn't show y'all was the notebook. I got the air freshener.
Re-upped on the Mint merch?
Huh?
You re-upped on the Mint merch?
I didn't even realize it was this much still left in the box.
Oh, I thought you doubled back.
Yeah, so they send you. Let me grab it real quick. It just fell out of my reach. Okay, they send you the card. You pop out the SIM. Pop it into your device, you know what I'm saying? Boom, right there, and you're connected. You know what I'm saying? You are connected. Keep your number. It's what you need to do right now, man. Like to save money, because I know money is tight for everybody right now. I ain't gonna front like I got it balling like that, because I don't. So anywhere I can save some money and I don't have to sacrifice quality, I'm all about that. And $15 is a huge saving for me. I will save that $321, I will put that rack in my pocket. With $330, put that right back in my pocket.
You can get your wireless bill down to $15 a month. That is wild. It comes with unlimited nationwide talk and text, and you can stop paying for the unlimited data that you never use. So you can choose the plans with 3, 8, or 12 gigabytes of 4G LTE data, and you can use your own phone. It's not like they give you a new phone. It's just the Mint Mobile plan. So $15 a month, come on. Even if it was double that, you're saving so much.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Now, so
absolutely. And I'm telling you, man, this is going to be one of those things I feel like where it's the new wave, because it's kind of like when people were only doing cable and then Netflix and Hulu and all of the streaming things came out. And it's like, yo, why are you paying for all of these channels on cable that you don't even use? It's like, get what you need. And like, I feel like a lot of companies are about to dip to this because it just makes more sense. It makes so much more sense.
Yep. So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped right to your door for free, just go to mintmobile.com/DIYS. One more time, that's mintmobile.com/DIYS, and you can cut your wireless bill down to $15 a month. I cannot say that enough. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Wild. That's wild. So shout out to Mint, and shout out to the minty fresh prices. We gotta talk about it.
Come on, man.
I wasn't sure, but I woke up sure as hell. Okay, this is probably one of the wildest, non-important things happening on social media right now.
Come on, man.
B. Simone.
Come on, man.
What you doing?
What you doing? Oh, we're going to talk about it.
What you doing? B. Simone is a lot going on right now. Mm-hmm. I could actually share my iPhone. Hopefully nothing crazy come up of this. Do I get the trust? Yes, I trust. Boom. Here we is. All right, a lot of saved B. Simone videos I have been following. So this all started when she's kind of doing a whole manifest journey, right? So that's her whole thing. Manifest positive things into your life. Manifest, manifest, manifest. Great message, right? So she sold a book, and you know, for good for her and her fans, it made her $1 million. She screenshot it, she shared it. She was like, you know, I manifested this. I worked really hard for this. Yada yada, right? So you know, it was cool. Big win for B Simone. Big win for B Simone fans. But things got a little ugly from there. I'm gonna go into the first one. This was before she was on the Nick Cannon show, and
Oh man.
she weirdly even though I know what she was trying to say,
Yeah.
she just said it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And especially when you're talking to somebody as successful as Nick Cannon, who's like, what are you talking about? Who would never say that. It just kind of came off as disrespectful to the working man and woman. So this is what she said on the Nick Cannon show.
A 9 to 5.
Let me start that over.
He can't have a 9 to 5.
What? Why not? You don't want to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay, he can't
So
like he can't clock in and clock out.
No.
Damn,
I
B
think
Simone.
entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs.
Okay, but still, there's people who have really good jobs with vocational skills. If he's a mechanic,
I'm sure, but no, you're not going to understand my lifestyle. You're not going to understand why I'm up at 3 a.m.
damn, you making
And
this hard
you-
for me. Okay, all right.
You know, he has to be an entrepreneur.
A business owner. He getting one of them
Yes.
stimulus packages from Donald Trump, one of them small business loans, and he ain't buying jewelry with it.
We're moving into that direction.
Yeah. All right,
He can't have a 9 to 5.
So people were not crazy about that, right?
Yeah.
It kind of came off as shitting on 9-to-5 workers, although, you know, what she was trying to say was she wanted someone to match her
Hustle and her speed.
hustle and her speed, which I guess, but it's like that doesn't really. You can have someone who matches that hustle and that speed who has a 9-to-5. It just
Absolutely.
it made 9-to-5 workers and entrepreneurs are not that far different. You know what I mean? Like there have even been rappers who came out and saying that there's a lot of your favorite rappers make less than a lot of 9-to-5 jobbers. So it's like she kind of just made it seem like entrepreneurs were super elite and 9-to-5 people were sort of like kind of like peasants, right? That's just I get what she was trying to say, but that's how it came off. So people were not happy about that. It says she really thinks she's different because she stay up to 3 a.m. ordering off AliExpress. So that's when other stuff started coming apart, right? So it was pretty wild because this started exposing things about her lip care line, I think. She was apparently it was she was been accused of taking things off this website called AliExpress, putting a new label on it, and shipping them out. So her fans, a couple people knew that, but it didn't really blow up. But now that this story blew up, now obviously people start throwing other dirt into the pot and all that stuff, right? So now she's in some hot water, right? So yeah, it's a bunch of people who are upset. So then, fast forward, she kind of takes it back.
Manifested. I'm trying to manifest a husband. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9 to 5. I get it. They work hard. I used to have a 9 to 5. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You work hard. You have money. I get it. I need an entrepreneur. I need somebody that understands my mindset. Somebody that has the same lifestyle. It has to do with money, everything to do with lifestyle. Okay? When I'm in the bed at 3 a.m. checking emails, what you doing, babe? Working? What you doing? Working? Okay, love you. You want to hop on a flight tomorrow? I have a meeting in out of town. You want to go? You got okay, let's go. Okay, you understand my life. You understand what I'm going through. I want to manifest that. What do you want in a man? What do you want? Let's start there. What do you want? Let's manifest it, baby. You can have it. Whatever you want, you can have it. Manifest that shit. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9 to 5. Ain't nothing wrong with an entrepreneur ass nigga.
All right, I have to stop it. I'm sorry. I couldn't make it through the minute. Couldn't make it through the minute.
Yo, I retweeted Oh my God. I don't know if I just retweeted it. I must have just retweeted it. But somebody took that and put bird sounds over it. Did you see that?
No.
Hold on, wait a second. Hold on, man. I gotta find it, dog. Like that shit made me laugh so damn hard. All right, it's coming up.
So what happened was this snowball effect, right?
Yeah.
So now we got some people who are in the shadows upset about AliExpress. Now a bunch of people were upset about the Nick Cannon journey, what she said on the Nick Cannon show. And now she's like, that's not what I meant. I was trying to manifest a man. Learn how to manifest by getting my book. So, okay, she turned that into an advertisement. Kind of pat herself on the back during that announcement video. All right.
Oh no, wait. Before you press play, Pat.
Hmm?
Before you press play, this is what I was talking about.
Oh wow. The internet don't give a damn. Internet really does not give a damn.
When I tell you, I cackled loud in the morning when I saw that, dog. The birds just. Yo, that made my day for the day, bro.
So
So good.
it's so it started to get a little bit rough, right?
Yeah.
So after she dropped her book, it got rough. It got rough because some of the stuff she was selling wasn't being shipped out for months and months. So some people just weren't getting it. And then some people were getting it and they were just noticing that the quality wasn't great. I have a video on Twitter. I would not dare just scroll Twitter on screen share, but that is too unpredictable. But the video I saved, it showed it, and it was this girl roasting what she just bought. She was like, "What in the Scholastics book fair is this?" It was like stapled with like papers coming off. It looked like a magazine. It was like
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
super wild, right? So now it's just like, okay, she reached the 1 million mark. The stuff was late. It didn't look the best. Whatever. Like, I mean, it was the first book, right? The juiciness comes in when a whole bunch of people started screenshotting her book pages and their book pages side by side. And when I tell you, it is down to the font. I'm talking word for word copy, same pictures, same font, same color scheme. And it's like some of them are black women who it's stolen from. Like she's getting sued. She's getting sued. And it's so wild. It's so wild how you could do that to your own fans. So here's where I want to open it up for a conversation, because obviously it's not easy doing all of this in the public spotlight. When you mess up, you mess up. I fully understand that. It was the next apology that had me a certain type of way. So
Hey, you guys, it's B Simone. Y'all know me. I have been vulnerable, real, transparent, honest throughout my whole career, and this moment isn't any different. I want to make a quick short video and address all of the accusations surrounding my book, but because it is now a legal matter, I can only say so much, but I wouldn't be me and I wouldn't feel right if I didn't say anything at all. So that's what I'm doing. I had a vision to create a book for young women to change their mindset and to manifest, because that is how I feel like I became successful in life. That is my truth. That's what I know about. So that's what I wanted to teach young women, manifestation. I wanted to tell them my story, right? I've never written a book. I've never been an author. So as an influencer, as a creative, as an entrepreneur, me and my team outsourced. We hired a team that we trusted, that we thought could bring my vision to life. And they did a lot of things. Hey, you guys, it's B.
So real quick before the next slide, I just want to point out that the top comment, you can't see it, but it made me laugh. It said, "This is the softest I've ever heard her talk."
Yes.
All right, now we continue.
Without my knowledge, a lot of things without my knowledge, and I am here to fix it. I'm here to fix it. I've reached out to every creative involved, every female involved to fix this issue. And even though I feel like the people I hired in my team dropped the ball, I'm taking full accountability because at the end of the day, I'm the leader, I'm the CEO, I'm the coach. So, it's my brand. I take full accountability, even though I did not know. I'm here to fix it. I'm here to speak about it. I'm not going to run from this. I'm going to face it head on. I'm learning, I'm growing every single day. My business mind, it's growing every day. The way I do business is growing every day. I take this as a learning experience. The books have been taken down. We're stopping all sale without my knowledge. A lot of till this matter is black and white, clear as day. I don't want any gray area. And I thank y'all for rocking with me. I thank y'all for supporting me. Once again, I take full accountability, even though I did not.
Okay, I can't hear it anymore. All right, so you can read this if you want. I'm not going to. What time is it? Oh, sorry, a little sync up. All right, so I was watching all of this, and we're in a weird climate right now. You know what I mean? It's a climate where it's kind of like black people should be sticking together, and obviously all of these comments are negative, but then the ones that aren't are just like, how could you tear another black person down? How could you tear a black woman down at a time like this? And I was just watching this and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything about this because this is weird, right? This is it's a weird time to just be doing a video about how a black woman messed up, right? But then she dropped this video. And then Meek Mill actually came to her defense and said, B. Simone canceled because she finessed a book and made her way from the bottom. LOL, what major companies y'all cancel for ripping our culture off? Finding ways to display hate towards our own when they start doing good is showing amongst us a lot. Then it said, somebody was like, well, she finessed her own though. And then Meek said, niggas rap about selling drugs and a life they don't live. That is not finessing their own? And that's when I was like, all right. That is so different. That's like literally me taking a little bit of Meek's verse, taking a little bit of Jay's verse, it's not the fact that these rappers are like lying. Like we know that they're probably lying. We like the music.
Yeah.
But when it was just like, okay, you're ripping your fans off, then you're shitting on your fans by saying you can't have a 9-to-5 nigga. Then you send it to them and it's not even worth the price that they paid. And it's like, then you're ripping, and it's like there's people on Twitter that are retweeting old videos of her saying like, everything I put out, I touch. Everything I put out, I go over. It's my stuff. I would never give you blah, blah, blah. And they did the whole this you. And I was just watching all this and I was like, no, just because you black during a war with black people does not mean you get away with being ludicrous. Because that is that's insane. I'm so confused. This is how not to take accountability 101. Everyone on my team did it. Fuck my team. It was all their fault, but I'm the leader. I'm the CEO. This all falls on me. I take full accountability, even though I didn't know and it wasn't my fault and it was my team's fault. I take full, this was all my fault, even though I didn't know anything about it, and it was the people that we hired. And I should be cussing them out. I'm not going to because this is all it was just like, yo, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
What? I understand that you have a team set in place, so you don't have to carry everything. I get that aspect of it. However, there's a certain thing called checks and balances. You should have, if you are not going to review it personally, you should at least have enough people to, verify that this is legit. And I don't know what that looks like because when you hire somebody, like I didn't even know like you could hire somebody to like write a book for you. I thought that like if you're writing a book, it's supposed to be your words or something like that. Silly
There are
me.
authors that hire writers, but they still are, it's dictation.
Yeah.
They tell them what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, to do it completely like this was crazy, first of all. But then like it's just like, yo, man, you still threw your people under the bus by saying like, my team said they was gonna take care of it, all of that type of stuff. None of that matters now. Now people just want to see how you're going to react to this. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? And you just showed them that you still like feel like it ain't your fault. Like you weren't to blame for this. So it's not a good look at all. That much I can tell you. It is not a good look. And I don't want to say anything too bad. I don't know the young lady personally. She seems like a nice enough person, but you got to know the business, bro. You got to know the business.
Well, I'll say
like you can't you can't be in that much of a rush to make money from people that you put out like shitty quality. Simple as that.
I don't respect this at all. So I mean, like, what's going to happen? I'm not going to get hired for the B. Simone show. So like, I feel like it's the reason why I'm really upset about this is because she really ripped off her people. Yeah. And then showed them the $1 million mark, like, I did this, you could do this too, manifest, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like the whole if it was just a book, then fine. But you're trying to tell all your people, you trying to connect to your audience, you're trying to say, my young kings and queens, you can manifest this. This is how I manifest it, and this is my own personal journey. But then you don't know about full pages that were copied word for word, and it's your personal journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's your personal journey. How is this plagiarism in such detail, and you didn't know when it's your journey? You didn't go over this and be like, well, I don't know, what is this? Where'd you get this? Yeah. I just don't understand. This made me understand that maybe I don't know how books are made at all. Mm-hmm. But
right, because if there's a generic place that they're pulling these questions from, then like that's something I would have asked. Like if you go through this whole book, because it was like thick, it was like a nice like magazine size width, and it's like you going through this, for quality control. You be like, oh, this is actually good. Where'd you get this from? We had saw it in this other publication. We just kind of took it from there, changed some words up. At that point, I'm like, I'm not okay with that. Like,
yeah, can I see it?
Yeah, exactly. And then you see it like, oh shit, this is word for word. You didn't just
change anything.
You didn't change anything, But again, that comes from like, having the right people in place and also still having a hand in it. Like anything that's involving money, I'm still taking a look at. Even though I have a manager, like Kev's brother is my manager, and anytime there are emails being transferred, like I still take a look at everything. I read over all the emails. I read over all the contracts. If I don't understand the verbiage in the contract, I will, before I reach out to my manager, I reach out to my lawyer. And I'm like, yo, can you break this down for me? Mm-hmm. And they would do it in layman's terms for me because I want to make sure that I'm on the same page with everybody. I don't want to I might not have all the knowledge as everybody in the room, but I'm not going to be the dumbest person in the room. And I'm not going to mess up my money. I always look over my paperwork because it's like, bro, like this your livelihood. If you're an entrepreneur, like she said she wants, you have to be hands-on with everything that's coming across your desk. You can't just be signing your signature on shit and you don't know what you're signing. Always ask questions. Know your business first.
That's so true and so wild that happened. And it's just like, I don't really know. I mean, she's getting sued by those people. Like that's just not a good look, especially after the 9 to 5 thing. And then you can't do a video and say, I'm not an author. You can't do that.
She better hope that they don't sue her for everything she's worth and she had to get a 9 to 5. That's what's going to be the craziest thing.
The wildest thing is she posted, that's what everybody's saying. Everybody's making connections. Like, you're going to need that 9 to 5 now. But the crazy thing is she posts how much money she made from it too. So it's like those people who she stole from.
They going to know. They know reparations, man.
They're saying that a lot of it was from
interest.
Yeah, that's just an insane story. And what's the craziest part about this, and this is just my own personal opinion, I don't believe that she didn't know. I don't believe it. Because if she had a whole bunch of rumors about her doing the same thing on a completely different business venture, which is like AliExpress, Like either she is the most uninformed leader and her whole team is just ripping people off left and right and she don't know, or she's in on it. And I wholeheartedly believe that she's in on it. How people do one thing is how they do everything. So if there were similar rumors on lip gloss, which isn't even anywhere near the book like being an author or what it takes to make a book, and it's the same practices, I smell fibrillation. I smell fibrillation. So I think it's more about what it's more about what it was, what that meant. But yeah, I hope just because like I said before, everybody messes up. That's why I didn't really say anything at first. I really hate how she did that to her fans because that's just wild practices for me. But at the end of the day, you don't really want to see anybody go down in flames like that. So I do hope she gets past this and learns from it. But yeesh, that's quite that's quite a detour to give your own career.
It's crazy because you hate to hear it. You hate to hear these type of things. What you love to hear is your music, and clear as day. And the way that you can do that while you're working out, while you're walking, while you're cleaning up in your house and you don't want to disturb anyone, you can do it on the Raycons E25 earbuds. This is the newest model by Raycon with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and more compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit. I mean, guys, it doesn't get any better than this. You got the cord, you got the extra earbuds. So, because everybody's ear thing is different. That's what I don't like about some of the competitors. They don't give you enough of these because they give you like maybe one or two. But like this one comes with like 3 or 4 different earbuds that were the earpieces for the earbuds that you can swap out, man. And this is something that is half the price, a fraction of the price of the highest competitors, and you lose none of the quality of it. You guys already know about this. We're big fans of Raycon. It's one of the co-founders is Ray J. So, he's been in the music business for a long time. And I know for a fact he's not going to put his name on anything that is not quality, especially dealing with music. And then there are other people who have vouched for this. Snoop Dogg, Cardi B, Brandy, J.R. Smith. There are a ton of people. And I tell you, the best thing to do is really, really, really just try it out, man. You will not be disappointed at all.
The stats, 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, compact. No, it's and they look cool too. When you open it up, it lights up. It's all like futuristic.
Yeah, see if I can show y'all real quick. See the light, and like as soon as you like when you first get it in the box, like when they say seamless Bluetooth pairing, bro, like if you open it up, you launch your phone, go to settings, hit Bluetooth. Soon as you see it, soon as you hit settings and Bluetooth comes up, you tap on it, it's boom.
I like the little noise it makes.
You ain't gotta press and hold nothing. You ain't gotta hold it for 10 seconds until the light turns blue and then starts blinking. Nah, bro, we ain't doing all of that. Seamless Bluetooth pairing, and I'm all for that, man. So I'm all for Raycon. I'm a strong believer in this. Love the products. I've worked out with them. I've jogged with them. They have not fallen out. They are very secure, very crisp, top of the line quality. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, you can get 15% off of your first pair of Raycon E25 earbuds. All you have to do is go to buyraycon.com/DIYS. Again, that's BUY Raycon, RAYCON.com/DIYS, and you will get 15% off your order right now. Holla at your baby.
It's pretty good.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? How'd you like that transition?
It's pretty good. I think our transition game was I think our Juneteenth ancestors would be proud this week. Also, speaking of ancestors, I don't know why this is speaking of ancestors, but shout out to Tupac. This is actually his birthday. If you're watching on Thursday, we filmed this on Tuesday. So happy birthday to Tupac. I'm glad that we have a woke episode on Tupac.
Head up.
All right, going into another interesting and mind-blowing story. Let me go ahead and share my Google Chrome one more again.
Ooh.
Forbes dropped a headline. This was quite a headline. They basically said 36 alien civilizations are existing currently in the Milky Way. Now, if you are a fan of, if you're a fan of aliens and stuff like conspiracies, interestingly enough, they don't usually give us no stats like that. It's usually like there's aliens out there, like very vague aliens, or like you would think there's one race that comes down or a handful, but 36 are believed to be out there. And this article is pretty much the science behind that ridiculousness. So yeah, we've always been, it's always been a huge thing in human history about, are we alone in the universe? And it says we've come very far in our understanding of these stars and planets and what's out there in our Milky Way and beyond, but we still don't know whether there's any form of extraterrestrial life. But a new study just claimed that there are 36 alien civilizations in the Milky Way and represent it as a lower limit on what's out there. So there's basically, they're saying they're lowballing it at 36. Now, there's science behind this. They're not saying that they confirmed 36 studies, but here's essentially the science behind it. So it says, for more than half a century, scientists have worked to transform the existential question of life beyond Earth from a philosophical inquiry to an empirical one. This has got some guy who thinks he gets extra points or
for using the
extra
big
money.
words.
Yeah, what the hell, man? Just do your Forbes.
Do your job, my boy.
Sure, we can search for life directly, but as long as that endeavor remains fruitless, the most productive thing we can do is take an indirect approach. So that was the idea behind the original Drake equation, the first equation to attempt to quantify how many alien civilizations might be present in our galaxy. So this is just an equation. It's almost like using math to see how many people, how many species are probably out there. So it says, for example, how likely sun-like stars are and how ubiquitous Earth-sized planets are at the right distances for Earth-like temperatures. Then we can come up with meaningful estimates for other species. So in layman's terms, scientists use equations and probability to guess the stuff that we don't know about, like black holes. I don't think a scientist has ever actually seen a black hole. So it says over the past few decades, advances in astronomy and in particular exoplanet scientists have led scientists to at last understand how frequently a world with similar conditions to Earth might arise. Basically, you know, like water and our gas, our gravity. It says 20% of them, of all the billions of stars in the Milky Way, are sun-like, and about a quarter of those have Earth-sized planets orbiting. And practically all of those worlds are born with the right ingredients for life to arise already on them. So essentially, they basically use that equation to find other Earth-like planets. And just to break it down as much as possible, so we don't have to worry about this guy's crazy writing, they basically made an estimate that there were 36 other species. And I'm just kind of sitting here not knowing how to feel.
I mean, are we really surprised though?
Kinda. 36? I thought it would be like, damn, there's like 4 species out there.
I mean, the fact that we haven't seen that many of them lets us know that if there are 36, we're hopefully not at the bottom of the totem pole as far as existence and intelligence. We obviously not at the top because we know that there are aliens out there. We know
Right.
that, but we just don't know. You know, there might be some on other planets that are still in the ice age timeline of their life or their span. But we know they're there. You know what I mean? I think 36 is I think it's a big number because we are only used to like one type of alien, the ones that fly in saucers and things and UFOs and things of that nature.
Right.
But I mean, look at what is it? Men in Black, man. I can't even name all the aliens.
Oh, that's right.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't think that it's unrealistic to think that there are.
You said look at Men in Black like that was a documentary.
No, true. right. I did, but however, like, look how many species of animals there are. Like, I don't think that we can be the only intelligent life form out there, and what is it? Not reality, but the reality of it is like the Milky Way is fucking huge, bro. It's
Right.
fucking huge, and that's just one galaxy that we've named and know of. Like,
Mhm.
there's no telling how many alien species are out there. I think having a number kind of makes it more realistic, and I think the fear of the unknown is what's getting to us or getting to some people. But 36 doesn't fear me at all.
No?
No, not
I
really.
remember the Canadian government or the Canadian Prime Minister, or I don't know if he was the Secretary of Defense. I forget. Some high level official went on the Canadian news and confirmed that the humans have been in contact with like 8 or 9, and I was freaked out when they said that. He started like describing it in detail. So aliens have low key been confirmed already, but it's just to know like we've always just been begging for the answer to the main base level question, which is like, are there aliens? That's all we wanted to know, is yes or no. But we don't know how vast that goes. It like you said, it could very well go 36 hundreds and thousands of species, and it's just like, it's scary because all we wanted was a yes or no. But the more information that we learn, it's just like, oh, I don't know if I was actually prepared for that.
The crazy part is that like we want to know, we say we want to know, and that we can handle it. But look how we did with the pandemic. You know what I mean? We can't even get over racism, and look how we acted with the pandemic and how there was a toilet tissue shortage and people were just running amok and in panic in the streets.
Right.
And the reality is we might not be able to handle the truth, man. Maybe that's why they feel like it's better to keep this information from us as far as the confirming of intelligent life forms outside of humans. Because one of my favorite movies from John Travolta is Phenomenal. Phenomenon. And in that movie, he sees a light outside, and after seeing the light, it gives him telekinesis, right? And makes him smart as hell. But even the people in his small town, because it's a small town movie, even the people in the small town started treating him differently because he was different. And it's just like, man, that's one of your own. How you treat him like that? Imagine if we found out that there were 36 or confirmed that there are 36. Right now, this is just, science and math predicting that there are 36. Imagine if we could confirm it, like how people will flip out, bro. Like that shit would be crazy.
No, I mean that we're not. I don't even think the people are ready for a clear yes of aliens. So to hit them with not only are there a few, there's over 36. I don't know if the people will be ready for that. However,
they have a lineup of all the aliens.
even though I'm not sure the people would be prepared for aliens, I know that they would be prepared for this ice. All right. I am so happy to say that we have been partnering with Vincero watches, and we are excited. Okay. Finding a new watch that's stylish, bold, and built to last is expensive. You know what I mean? It's gonna cost you a pretty penny. But Vincero watches is changing that. They believe that you deserve to look good and feel good no matter what the budget. I'm so jealous of Tahir right now. Vincero creates exceptionally crafted watches, and they do it without breaking the bank. You can get you a legit watch on your wrist, get all the women, all of the millionaires looking where to get that at, and you didn't even have to break the bank. All right, Vincero. The guys over at the team of Vincero, they sent us some watches, and from what I know, they are stunning. Apparently, the packaging is so good that the mail decided to dabble in mine. So I do not have mine. I'm heartbroken. But Tahir lets me know every chance that he gets. Because they are fire. Look at that's a nice.
Hey, listen, man. I cologne, watches, hats, and glasses. Y'all know that those are my signature pieces right there. I love those 4 accessories, and it's nothing like a good timepiece, man. Like I love the detail. I've had some brands approach me in the past and send me some stuff, and I was like, I can't do this for you because it's not going to be good. It's literally going to be a scathing review. But this watch, man, premium leather, quality in every aspect of it, from the lasering of the name, the back of the timepiece, the crowns of it, everything about this watch screams quality. I love the packaging, very sleek, very stylish, but very simple. Like they didn't take a whole lot. And I've only worn this out like 3 times, but 2 of the 3 times, even with sleeves on, because I always wear jackets, somebody has noticed this watch and given me a compliment on it.
Oh.
It has the date on there, the second. And yeah, man, I love this joint right here. So check them out, man. And this is coming from your boy, like wholeheartedly. This is something that every man should have. Every man should have a classic timepiece. And I absolutely love this watch, man. Absolutely. I have like a watch box, but I kept this box just so we could do this ad. And I hate having clutter around, but I just wanted y'all to see the unboxing of it. But this is now can go into my my watch box with all the other watches and timepieces that I have, because I'm very excited that this is part of my collection now.
T's having a good time with that watch over
I'm
there.
having a blast. I'm having a goddamn blast over here.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Now, right now, they are offering our listeners 20% off of your entire order, so you can get you a couple watches. And they're going to cover all shipping costs if you use the code SCARY, SCARY. So these are already affordable watches, and now you get that extra 20% off. So go ahead and get you a couple timepieces. They are honestly a very unique design that you will not find them, and you will not find anywhere else. So you got to see them for yourself at VinceroWatches.com. Vincero is spelled Vincero. It's French. It sounds like it has an H in it. Is it French? I'm hoping it's French or Italian, or it's foreign, I should say. But they have 21,000 5-star reviews. Let me say that again. They have over 21,000 5-star reviews on their website. That's more than Gandhi and B. Simone have put together. All right, so you can go and get that in for yourself. Do not overpay for a watch that looks cheap and disappoints. Exclusively, you guys can get 20% off of their already affordable watches. So again, you got to use that code SCARY. Go on over to VinceroWatches.com and get you a timepiece.
To Marie Milian, she was one of the ones that was that did the meet and greet with us. We did a meet and greet for our Patreons. It was over 70 people in there. We had a blast. But Marie was from Montreal, and she had the French accent. I don't know if they ship everywhere, but it didn't specify only to US. It said free shipping. So I would encourage you to head over to their website, VinceroWatches.com, and check out the shipping arrangement, because I think they ship everywhere. So there you go.
Awesome. All right. So just to round this day out, I have a couple of wild short ones. New York City. Been going through a lot since this quarantine.
Yep.
Couple places are starting to open back up, but it was just announced that the New York City safe sex guidelines, which I didn't know they existed, they encourage the use of glory holes during COVID-19 pandemic. One more time. There's New York City safe sex guidelines encourage the use of glory holes during COVID-19. Glory holes are now the safest option to get your pecker licked. It says the health officials actually said that. Encouraging the use of glory holes. Have you ever used? Tahir, you had an interesting life.
No. I have never done that. I like to kiss, so no.
I never knew that was an answer to that.
No, it don't work for me. I like to kiss. That's how you know it's real. You kiss
Is
another reason why I've never done one night stands. I talked about it on Zooming with the homies. I don't do one night stands because I like to kiss. I like make it better.
Glory holes are weird because they're in bathrooms, right?
Most times, yeah. Unless there's a place like just for that.
But it's like if it's in bathrooms, there's like a 99% chance that you're getting your dick sucked by a male on the other side. That's horrifying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, unless it's a place that's specifically for that, like a sex house, a sex act house, like you would know that, you would hope. That's another thing. Like, I like to see the product, man. That's why I prefer shopping in person versus online. You gotta inspect the goods.
That's wild. That's just
Imagine-
wild that
You
we're at.
imagine walking out, you be like, that's pretty good. And the door opens, you're like, yeah, it was. You drink a lot of pineapple juice? You be like,
I just
didn't-
I saw a viral video where they knew each other. It was like some chick that he was like either knew or was related to. By the way, I don't know what happened in the porn industry within the last year, but why is everything fucking my stepsister and having sex with my stepmom and my
what?
stepdad? Like, who is this for? I stopped going to Pornhub because of that. I was just like, every video? Every video? You trying to smash the step kids? But just to, avoid a weird pivot, it says that officials have been saying to keep a mask on during sex and to have fun in larger, more ventilated environments instead of small spaces. It says, make it a little kinky. Be creative with sexual positions and physical barriers like walls that allow sexual contact while preventing close face-to-face contact. Yeah. A lot of I never knew we were there, but glory holes to me was always the most like sus
that's one of
thing
the
ever.
weirdest things for me. Like, I'd rather, like, if I had to pick an option, obviously, I would just pick pay for sex so you could at least see. You know what I mean? Like, just that unknown. I don't, like, what do you do? Are you just, like, pressed up against this? Don't look comfortable. Like, if
Does
you
not
got
seem comfortable.
you got your penis through the glory hole, you got to be like, yeah, that's it.
And I like patting them on the head and stuff and playing with the hair. It's, you know what I mean? It's not personable anymore. You know, you don't get to give them a pat on the back.
Niggas say pat him on the head.
Yeah, give them a pat on the head or the back for encouragement. Like, good, you're doing good. Or you do that one thing where you tap them on the shoulder and pretend like it's you. There's a lot of little cool games. I don't be doing that, but still, I feel like that's not very personable.
It's definitely not.
And I don't,
And then what's the regimen in between clients? Are they like brushing and releasing, or just throwing a little water in them?
you said clients?
Huh?
You said clients?
Yeah.
Are these paid workers that do glory holes?
I mean, maybe New York City was talking about like getting a big piece of cardboard and you and your spouse cut a hole out and do it like that. But typically, when you go to a glory hole, I always thought I just imagine them being like at truck stops where truckers just go and get that little, you know what I mean? So it's like they are there. The person's there, probably just reading through a periodical, you know what I'm saying, until somebody comes in the bathroom, gives.
You think they just stand there until a dick pops through?
Yeah, I think they just like in the bathroom in the stall, legs crossed, just reading. Somebody knocks me like, oh, okay. Put the magazine down and then.
No, I was about to say you can stop acting out right there. That's interesting to think that they're like, oh, okay, I got it. Instead of like, you don't think it's like, shit, and then because I don't know, is money like, do you put like your money through the hole like an ATM?
Money through first, like a quarter, like an arcade. You put the money through first,
and a hand comes out and gets it.
No, it's not that big. The hole's not that big. The glory hole is literally like this. So you can't see anything. So they don't even have to like wear lingerie or anything. They in there like sweats and Jordans and a crop tee, and they just, you know.
Oh, they take it like a Zoom call. They on the phone. They making dinner. That was the first telemarketer, the first Zoom call.
Somebody said, can we get a glory hole to explain the process? I mean, a glory hole worker to explain the process. I don't even know how to outsource that. Like, how do you? You put that on Craigslist or what? How do you?
I don't think anybody's like an exclusively glory hole worker. I feel like that's like a what is it called when you do something on the side? Starlighting?
Yeah, starlight moonlighting.
Moonlighting. I think that you moonlight as a glory hole, but in between truck stops.
And I honestly don't know anybody out here. I mean, maybe Bakersfield, they might have some, but I just imagine glory holes are still popping and popular like in Iowa, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, like those places. Kansas, not Kansas City, Missouri, but like Kansas. Like,
I can see
why,
that glory hole.
yeah, that's why I feel like they popping.
Glory hole the glory hole capital. I wonder what would happen. Hang on, just for us to do one last activity. I'm gonna share, and we're gonna find out. Where do you find glory holes? Where do you find glory holes? Let's just see what the internet, where it takes us. How to find glory holes? That's a forum.
Okay.
Searching within adult for glory holes. So they have Yelp. Definitely on Yahoo Answers. I understood that. The Pleasure Chest. Okay. Spanky's Adult Emporium. That sounds like it has a fire commercial.
Nah, that's something else. You got to go back. That's Yelp is just bringing up stuff that has the word glory in it.
Ah.
Not that one. Go to the one right under that one. Go to the one right under that, because that look like a meet up for glory. Like, welcome to Glory Hole. Your location here.
Like
Now go back. Right under the first one. That right there. Where it says Glory Hole Inn.
Here?
Yeah.
Gloryholeinn.com?
Yes.
Oh, please don't be an interactive site. Oh, thank Jesus.
Ah.
The Flash is out of date. No, I don't want to actually see a glory hole. I feel like a dick was about to come virtually at it.
Maybe we should do this later, because we would have to cut this out of the real episode, because
this is perfect. Look at this. How do they normally cost money? That's a legit question. And then Dave S., this was 8 years ago, said, so it's probably made some advances. It says you can find them in some public men's room, or you're more likely to get busted at one of them. The best bet is to check out adult bookstores, video stores, or whatever you have in your area. These places often have private viewing booths in the back where you can watch the porn of your choice. Oh, he's wrote a lot. We don't have to read all this. But that makes sense. Because that's where they would be. It says you need to drop money or tokens in the booth, or they will kick you out, but don't have to pay for a BJ from your neighbor. This guy had a lot to say about it, so I feel like he's into some stuffs. But that's on my search history now.
Wow, yeah.
This is what happens when we try to have so when we try to have an informative episode. All of our disgustingness gets built up and it just gets released at the end. So now you guys know, pull up on a adult video store with some tokens. Make sure you have tokens. All right. Well, that has been a very fruitful episode of Damn Internet You Scary. We learned a lot today. We pretty much learned about everything from aliens to where you can get your penis sucked at a truck stop. So thank you to our scary squad. They were into that. They were actually into that. As always, we will see you next week. I've been Patrick Cloud.
I'm to hear more, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys. Woo! That was a hell of a ending. Yes, I will erase my search history. I don't want the feds.
Recording. We're no longer recording, but the Scary Squad is still up.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you guys yet again for watching with us. I had to hop on this call.
Okay, cool.
Oh, snap. There's my alarm. All right, guys.
Talk to you guys later.
We'll see you next time.
For sure. Peace.